It is Sunday the 3rd of September and it is showtime. Good morning. It's quite early. It's 6:30. I've got about 3 hours until showtime. So yeah, it's September. Can you believe it? Everybody. So meteorologically. Oh, it's too early to say that word. It is autumn. But I prefer the astrology. I can't say that word either. It's clearly too early. But the autumn equinox, we'll go with that, is 23rd of September. I like to go with that. I don't like, although I love autumn, I think it's my favourite season. I don't like to wish away the seasons too quickly. I want to savour the last bits of the summer. And indeed, well, it kind of feels like we haven't had a summer. It's been this sort of prolonged wet spring, and then it's just going to tip into autumn. But next week, tomorrow, maybe even starting today, we're due a heat wave. So summer has finally arrived. Unfortunately, a little bit too late for the horticultural show. So I figure next week a lot of ripening and growing is going to happen. But yeah, not quite in time for today's show. So I'm just going to have to look at what I've got and see what's in sort of the best size, the best ripeness to go into whatever categories I can fit them into. I've done some prep already. So obviously the jam was done last week. I've got an arrangement of succulents that I have in my front window, and I've decided to put those into the succulent category. So they're all ready to go. I attempted to make a Victoria sponge yesterday. Less said about that, the better. Won't be entering that category. I mean, several things. I said less to say about it and then go and say about it. But hard for one, because obviously I'm baking vegan. Secondly, and not that you can't bake vegan cakes, I bake them all the time. I have my go-to recipe, but I thought, being that it's, it should be a proper Victoria sponge, what would be the equivalent of that for a vegan recipe? So I did a brand new recipe. Never a good thing to do. Never a good thing to do. Plus I didn't have the right size pans. So complete disaster. Won't be entering any of the home baking categories. My cousin, on the other hand, has baked some lovely shortbread and a light fruit cake. So she's going to enter those into those categories. So she can do the baking stuff. Other thing I've done in preparation is went down to the plot with Mom last night and we cleared the runner beans. Well, not cleared them. I mean, there's loads more to come. But everything that was either side of ready has been picked. I've got them laid out on the lawn and I need to go through them and find how many is it that we need for runner beans. This is a well-worn book, 6, and you have to have the little stalks attached. So we've got to find the 6 best runner beans. They've got to be straight but young. You don't want any bean forming. So we'll have a look at that. Anyway, the book. What I've done in preparation here is basically highlighted anything that I think I might be able to enter. I've ticked off the ones that I've got, the jam and the cacti, and I've put some suggestions of things. For instance, I can do a collection of 4 kinds of vegetables, 1 each on a seed tray. Oh, it does say 1 of each on a seed tray. So I've got suggestions of what those 4 might be. And then in terms of the squash, I want to put my tromboncino in because it's massive and brilliant and fun. But I don't know if that should go in the funny shaped vegetable or the squash category. I think it depends on whether I've got another squash that I think would go in that category. As you can probably tell, I've become quite preoccupied, would be a polite way of putting it, about this competition, this show, to the extent that I've had bad dreams about it. My neighbour came round yesterday and we were talking about it because she's putting things in for the craft categories, and And she said something along the lines of, but you are very competitive, aren't you? And I'm like, we barely know each other, and you've clearly decided that about me. So maybe I am. I guess I am. I think if I enter, I kind of want to win. But I'm trying to go in with the idea of that this is about supporting the community, and it's about having fun. Okay, and this isn't a massively formal horticultural show. I think I've mentioned previously, I went to last year's. I didn't exhibit last year. It was my first one I'd ever been to. I just went to see what went on, and it was, you know, quite poorly attended, and it was quite informal. There was really fun raffle. I think it's just going to be fun. Now there is a much more formal event going on today as well in the village, one across, which for serious showers, they might gravitate towards that show instead of ours, which is fine by me. But I did pick up their leaflet because they have a lot more information in here on how to show your vegetables and the kinds of things the judges are looking for, which I don't think is readily available. You know, there are books you can buy, and you can get like the RHS guide. I think Alan Titchmarsh has a book as well, and obviously you can search things online. But yeah, I think sometimes these horticultural shows are a bit mysterious, aren't they? And my advice to anyone is to just kind of go to one and see what it's all about, and then you've got a fairly good idea when you want to exhibit what things should look like. And yeah, in the spirit of kind of just doing this for fun, not to get too hung up on, you know, what you get points for and what you get points deducted for and things like that. I certainly have not gone down that rabbit hole. I'm basically using this very simple, brief guide on what your vegetables should look like. But yeah, as I say, I have been fairly preoccupied by this. My colleague says, Helen, that it's transference, and really I'm worrying about this so I don't have to worry about work, which is beginning to start up. Yes, perhaps I am directing my energies here so that I'm not worrying about things elsewhere. And I guess the other thing is, as you probably can tell by the fact that I got myself a massive allotment this year, I tend not to do things by halves. But what I will say is, although I tend to go all in, I'm not very good at like the finesse. I can really bodge things up at the last minute just from kind of rushing, or yeah. So I know that could be my failure today. Like I just ram things in the car and everything breaks or falls over or snaps. So I'm trying to think about things like that and put some blankets in the car and make sure that yeah, I don't sabotage myself at the last hurdle. Anyway, I was talking about preparation. The last thing I've done in terms of preparation is desperately try to get these tomatoes to ripen, and I'll show you how I've been trying to do that. Banana there, and a banana over here. So is it ethanol or something in bananas? Some chemical that helps to ripen fruit. So I've just kind of put them near these cherry tomatoes to try desperately to get them to ripen. I think this one might be okay. They're soft to the touch, but they're not quite as dark as I would have liked. And for the cherry tomato category, you need 9 cherry tomatoes. And I have got 9 that are like on the verge. So I picked 2, they're inside. Again, picking the ones that are ready so that the energy goes into the ones that are left. But whether I can get 9 that look ripe, but they're the last thing I'm going to do for today. They're going to get every ounce of sunlight before this show. So I think it's time to just work down the list, think about what I've got in the home garden, and then of course we've got to get to the allotment. I'm going to take the car and pick squash, beetroot, kohlrabi, flowers as well. I had a bit of a brainwave this morning because I've got the most gorgeous sunflower outside, and I'm thinking I can do the floral arrangement category where you need 3 varieties arranged. Vase of mixed garden flowers, 3 kinds. So you can have more than one of the kind of flower, but you can only have 3. And I'm thinking about the sunflower, some of those everlasting sunflowers, and some of the heleniums. I'll have this really like yellow, burnt orange kind of display. If your helenium is different colours, does that still count as one kind? You see, these are the sort of nuances of the categories that, unless you're au fait with the horticultural show thing, you're just a bit confused. My cousin and I were texting yesterday about like, well, what does this mean? And yeah, I was telling her, because I know from last year that the best way to present your tomatoes is if you put some horticultural grit or sand on your paper plate, because then the tomatoes sit nicely and upright. Whereas if you just put them on the paper plate, they can roll over onto their little tops, and you need the little tops. Is it called a calyx? You need to leave those on the top of the tomato. So it's all these like kind of intricate little things that you need to know and adhere to for the show. What I don't want to do is be disqualified for anything. So rather than trying to think, I want to get first prize on one thing, I'm going to think, I want to get disqualified of nothing. So there we go. Manage one's expectations. Anyway, let's go look at, what should we look at first? Carrots. Yeah, let's look at carrots first. Okay, in terms of carrots, I think we're just looking for straight and long. I don't think for carrots there is an ideal length. There are for some vegetables, we'll talk about that in a moment. But what you really don't want is any green around the crown where the sunlight has hit the carrots. So I've been quite wary of this because I've got these 3 carrots here that I planted when I planted a row of Nantes carrots, and only 3 came up, but I only need 3 for the category. So my hope is these are the perfect 3 carrots. This is very doubtful, but I have backups because I've got the 2 pick and mix carrot beds behind me. But obviously I have to pick a lot of carrots to try and find ones that are the same, because there's all different varieties in them. So let's see how these have done. Now I have been slightly earthing them up because I did notice a green top, so let's have a look. Oh yeah. Oh, I don't know. I don't think that's too bad. But look at the size of it. That is a good sized carrot. But of course, I just realised when I put the camera back up there, it was facing the wrong way, so I was just talking to myself there. What I was saying is, I'm not sure how easy these are to get out because this is quite a dry bed, so I've just gone and got the big fork. I hope I don't fork them. I'm going to try not to disturb the Florence fennel. Oh, I just pulled my back. Oh God. Oh no. Oh, talking about sabotaging myself. Oh shit. Okay, I'm gonna walk it off a sec. Oh. My back has been off all week. Oh. It's always worse early in the morning as well. I try not to do things too strenuous early in the morning. The excitement of the show made me forget to take it easy. Oh no. Right, where's my tea? I'm gonna have a short break in today's programming. I'm gonna drink some tea, stretch, take some ibuprofen, and then hopefully we will resume. Oh, I'm gonna be ringing my mum, aren't I? Can you go to the allotment and pick my veg for me? God damn it! Right, change of plan while I wait for the pills to kick in. I've got my runner beans. I can stand up at the counter here, keep my back straight, and find, ooh, that's a big one. There is a category for longest runner bean, but I don't think any of these, even that, yeah. I had one that was 30 centimetres earlier in the month, but that one's quite long. Is that 30 centimetres? It's not as long as the one I had before, so if I think I can't beat that, then I'm not going to beat whatever someone else might put in. So I'm just going to go with the ordinary broad bean category. 6 runner beans with stalks. So you need the little bit on the end. That bit. And we're looking for long, straight, and young, fresh. They were only picked yesterday. That's a nice one. Right, so perhaps we'll do some like model ones. So that's longer. You see, I say I've got 3 hours to prep, but you could spend 3 hours doing that. Now that's too bendy, so that can go back in the fridge. That's a bit bendy, but could be a possibility. Oh dear. That's a nice one. Oh yeah. Oh, that looks perfect with that one. What about that one? No, too small. That's a smaller one. Let's put that there. That's too small. Too bulbous. That you can see there's beans forming in that, so you don't want a knobbly pod. Nobody wants a knobbly pod. Now that looks just like that, but they are both curved. It's a bit curvy. Too small, too small, too small, too curvy, too small. Oh, that one looks like that one. I think the key is consistency. I'm going to go with that. That's what I tell my students when they're writing their assignments. Consistency. So I've only got 4 of these and they're a bit bent, so I think they're out. And I've only got 4 of these a bit bent on that side. These I think look the best, but I'm not sure about this one with its little indent. And those ones are a bit smaller. Some are a bit curvy, but I've got more to pick from. I didn't think the runner beans would be a difficult category to do. But it's tricky when you've got to get 6 the same. I'm tempted to go look on the plot and see if I can fill up either of these 2 or get some straight ones for that one. See if any have grown overnight to perfect length and width. That's my jam, by the way. Obviously not the jar I'm taking. And it's pretty delicious. It set nicely. All the fruit was well distributed in the jar. That was one of the things that you had to look out for with your jam. I mean, in terms of taste, to me, it just tastes like sugar. But Liam said he thought it was a nice jam. Okay. It's just gone 7. Should I go to the plot? When am I going to dig up these carrots? Too afraid now. Oh, I know. Let's look at cucumbers and courgettes. So these were the courgettes I picked yesterday. That one, lovely and straight. That one a bit bent. I know they were too big, but I didn't realise how big they were, or how too much big. You want a courgette apparently that is 15 centimetres, which is basically half of that. So they're no good. We'll eat those. But I think I've got some on the plot, the yellow variety, that will be perfect. So that's courgettes. Cucumbers. So this is what I've got in terms of cucumbers, and they are all different sizes. Yeah, that's not going to make a pear. Is it a pear we need for cucumbers? Yes, 2. Oh, and with stalks. Oh, that's got a stalk, that's got a stalk. These two little fat ones aren't going to do it anyway. Let's go see in the greenhouse if we've got one that will match the size of either one of these. Now, I've got two little ones over here. They're obviously no good. I don't think there's anything under all this foliage. Oh, there's a little one. Hi. So I think this one is my best bet. So there he is. He's a bit longer, isn't he? Damn it, I should have picked that a couple of days ago. How does it compare to this one? Oh yeah, it's definitely longer than that one. I mean, they're not that impressive, so I don't know. Oh, there's one as well. Oh, hello. Let's pick this. I don't know, is it worth putting those in? Those two bigger ones? Maybe if I have nothing else to show, I can put in my cucumbers. Right, let's go to the plot. I feel like I was super organised and now I'm not at all. Flummoxed. Just come in to find Dory has added herself to the staging area. That's the staging area, Dory. Better not have knocked my succulent display. Yeah, what do you like? Come on, we're going to go to the plot. Want to go to the allotment? Come on then. Come on then. Good secateurs. Oh, you know you're going a little bit crazy when you come out in your Crocs. And then you do funny kick things that the camera can't even see when you've got a bad back. I need to just take a breath and calm down. Mark just texted, well, Josie texted my sister and said, Mark thinks he's got produce for 10 categories. Like, has he? Where? That's a competitive streak coming out. Oh, it's nice out here. Right, I haven't got time to waste, so let's go look and see what we've got. So I need to look at runner beans, squash, courgettes, flowers, kohlrabi, maybe the sweet corn. Shall we check a sweet corn? That's quite exciting. Let's go check a sweet corn. Right. Gosh, it's hard to believe how small these were when they first went in. There's one with quite a brown silk. Let's see if we can get in here. I don't know. Is that one down here? Let's have a look. So you need kernels formed right to the top. So let's see. I think it's not quite there. Oh look, there are kernels to the top, but they're not yellow yet. Okay, well, cover you back up. Keep doing your thing. So I think sweet corn is out then, because that looked like the most promising. That's fine, that's fine. I wasn't thinking we'd probably have sweet corn anyway. Oh, potatoes! Forgot about potatoes. There's a white variety and a colour variety. Let's dig up some Charlottes because they were nice. They looked good, didn't they? They should be quite a bit bigger now as well. It's a while since I've pulled any up, and I've still got some of the solid blue in the ground, so they might be quite good ones. Right, where's my schedule? Let's see how many potatoes we need. 4. Ooh, 4 white potatoes or 4 coloured potatoes. I'm not sure I'll get 4 that haven't got slugs in or scab on. Right, I'm going to go round. I'm going to do some picking. Oh, let's oh, here's Mark now. He's just arrived. Let me show you the tromboncino, and then I'll get on. You should see the tromboncino, Dory. So here it is. My nephew calls it the baseball bat. It is a bit curvy. It's got a nice little bulbous end. What do you think, Dory? Squash category or funny vegetable category? You're a funny vegetable. Oh, look. He's got his proper shoes. Not like me. Oh, and here are the dahlias. Do any of those look show worthy? Obviously don't want any with this kind of browning on the back. Is it right to pick flowers when it's wet and early? I don't know.
Well, it might not have any of it, yeah.
Go on then.
So 6 French beans with stalks, got 3 onions, 250 grams or under, dressed.
I've got no onions.
3 onions over 250 grams, and we've got 3 onions grown over 250 grams. Not sure they're well dressed and
not dressed. Yeah. Oh well, yeah.
21
can't be bothered.
Medium tomatoes and 9 cherry tomatoes.
Oh, I'll be up against you with the cherries, I think.
Collection of 4 vegetables
of
any kind. Funny shaped vegetables.
What's your funny shaped?
Probably a potato. 1 squash or gourd, and then we've got 4 dessert apples with stalks.
You're not going to do a flower arrangement.
I'm going to flowers.
Bye, Dory. Right then, home. It's 8:30, so I've still got an hour and a quarter to set up stuff and pick stuff, get those carrots out of the ground. Let's just have a quick look at these gladioli. Oh, see, that one is absolutely perfect. First few flowers open, rest of the flowers to come, no dead on the bottom, but it's the only one I've got. Look, this red one. And I'm not sure even if you could have 2 different colours. They're just not out enough. And this one definitely isn't. Ah, that's a shame. Was there anything else I needed from the front? Or let's just have a look at this sunflower for the floral display. Oh, it's beautiful, but I think the one in the back is better. Okay, that's fine. What else? Oh, these. Let's get some of those for the floral display. Okay, I think we're about there. I have had to admit defeat on the carrots. These ones were my fat ones. They were fat rather than long, and there was 2 of one size, but this one was too small. And then the others from the pick and mix bed. It's just too difficult to try and get 3 exactly the same, and they're all quite small. But I did remember I've still got rhubarb, and although I said in an earlier video, stop picking your rhubarb, I've picked 3 stalks for the show. So I think I've got everything together now. Let's show you. I've got some decisions still to make though. To the staging area. So we've got my succulents, happy with that. This is my flower display, but my sunflower won't stay in the right spot. Where's the other helenium gone? Oh, it's over there. So that one needs to be there. Anyway, I'll have to primp that when I'm there. I've got a decision to make. Do I go for 2 small cucumbers or 2 large cucumbers, or not do cucumbers? I still can't decide which beans to put in, but I do have 6 of all. Courgette wise, I've got 2 small or 2 slightly bigger. The slightly bigger look more uniform than the small. Decision needs to be made. I have 3 salad blue potatoes. They don't look brilliant. 4. But I think I'm going to put them in just because they're unusual. My jam. I have this many Charlotte potatoes. I need to pick 4. This is my tray of 5 veg. I've got 4 there. Whatever I don't use in all of this will go in here. But I need a tray, don't I? I have to go wash a tray. I've got 5 cosmos, and I think they're all beautiful. They're not all exactly the same though. Is that going to be an issue? Who knows? I've got my 5 cosmos, and I've got my 3 dahlias. Oh, and did I show you spin, spin, spin? The tromboncino. Wash your seed tray. What I would say is that I wish I'd done more prep work for this yesterday. Definitely could have done the potatoes yesterday, and yeah, really it's just the flowers that you need to do first thing. Oh God, I've not even looked at my tomatoes yet, have I? Oh, I should be leaving out now. And I just heard that there's no parking where we're going because they're digging up the road, which is really annoying, especially with my back. But Mark will be there, my cousin will be there, so they can help me if needed, unless they want to sabotage me. And I've got to put things on plates. Getting there. Oh dear. This is ridiculous. I'm sweating, but I've got tomatoes. Oh my God, I've got tomatoes. Right. It's now 10 o'clock, so I've got an hour to set up at the show. I don't know how much filming I can do in there, but we'll see if I can get some footage. We'll definitely get filming later on when they actually do the awards. Okay, off I go. Sitting on the floor getting all my things together. So I've paid, it's quite calm in here. There aren't too many people yet, but there's already some really good stuff about. But yeah, it's okay. I feel like I'm relaxing now. just get everything out. But I've been asked to help out. I now work here. Anyway, I better get on because I've got another 10 exhibits to try and get out. 14 in total, by the way. Yeah. Right, I'm heading home. That was so funny, so much fun. Yes, in my new role, I put out the raffle prizes and help people put their stuff out a bit. My cousin, she arrived just in the nick of time to get her stuff out. She was a bit panicked. Her daughter decided at the very last minute that she wanted to put one of the children's categories in. But yeah, it was great fun down there. What I've learned, I would say at this point, is that stop being so picky. Like, I could have totally put those cucumbers in. There's only one entry in the cucumber category, and they're not the same size as each other. So yeah, I think I was being overly picky. Definitely going to win some things because I'm the only person in them. Should have put my disaster of a Victoria sponge in because there's not a single Victoria sponge there. The shortbread category was quite popular though, and my cousin's gone in for that, so we'll see how she does. But there are some categories that are going to be hotly contested. So we've all put in, I think, 4 squash. Certainly me, Mark and my nephew, we've all got a squash in. I think all 3 of us, me, Mark and my cousin, have put in a tray of veg. I accidentally put 5 veg in my tray and it's meant to be only 4, so it's a good job my nephew caught that. So would have been disqualified. But yeah, lots of categories with nothing in again. So my carrots as well I could probably put in. And I'm a bit annoyed I forgot about, well, I didn't forget, I just ran out of time really with the herbs because I had such lovely herbs. I was going to put in the cinnamon basil and my sage and the hyssop. So That's a shame I missed out on that one, because I don't think anyone is put in for that category. Seems like people are more into the craft stuff around here, but it's strange when you think like we've got 2 massive allotment sites feeding in, and perhaps people just aren't as competitive as I am. Anyway, yes, I think I've been roped into helping out more next year. Just add that to my plate, hey. Anyway, I'm heading down to Mum's, left the car there, heading down to Mum's, going to walk the dog. Back's feeling okay, it might just be adrenaline though. I'm going to find that I can't actually move when I've got to go back down there. So it opens again at 2 o'clock to the public, so they're doing the judging now, and then I think it's 3:30 that they'll actually do the announcement of the prizes and the raffle. So yeah, I shall catch you a bit later. Time to go in, moment of truth. Let's see how we did. Second prize. Oh yeah, well deserved first prize there. Didn't you say, Mum? First prize for the potatoes. Oh, I got second for the purple. Our default first prize for the runner beans.
Oh, thank you.
Did Mark? Oh, he got second prize for his bean. Oh look, they did the snap test. That's Mark's first prize for his beautiful looking onions. Dressed. Corn. Ah, that got first prize. Oh, Mark got first prize for his tomatoes after he stole my grip. Oh, I got second. Mark got first. I can't believe that. Oh, I think I was robbed. I'm sure mine are more uniform. Oh, I got first prize for the tray.
Oh,
So who got second? Judy. And then Mark got third. Oh, Becky didn't place. I got first prize for his knobbly potato. I felt sure that was going to get first prize. Oh, I got third for the tromboncino. That was my nephew's, that was Mark's.
I really thought you'd get that.
Rhubarb by default. Felt sure I would have got something for my succulent. No. There you go, there's the first. Third. And that's Maureen's at the end. Becky got first prize for her rose. This is best scent. Oh, should we chuck with that? Yes, I think we should. Oh, I got first prize for my flower display. I know, I just saw, even though my sunflower had dropped over. Oh, I got first for the sweet peas. Oh yeah, I'm the only one. And my dahlias. Becky was going to put in for the raspberries, but didn't have enough. Oh, is it? Oh yeah, Mark said he was going to put apples in, but he hasn't. No, she didn't do it. There we go. There was my nephews. I know. Well done, kids.
you see your rose? Go have a look at your rose. Oh, they did try it though, Becky.
Yeah.
But
that
one
with the...
what about the jams? Oh, well done.
Oh.
Oh, somebody did put in a Victoria sponge. So my jam, I got third. Oh yeah, I got third for my jam. And because that was a big category, look.
Yeah.
So what?
Oh, Maureen got first. And Angel's looking around at my cosmos and it's like, oh, can I find things?
I know
I
that.
would have beat yours.
Mum.
With the look so happy.
Yeah, I could have done better with my vases. Look at that, Mum.
Oh, yeah.
I saw. I beat you, Barbara.
I have cleared up. I've walked the dog. I've yet to eat anything. I've poured myself a glass of wine to cheers, to celebrate a job well done, really. I got a best in class, surprisingly for the flower class, which I would not have expected this morning, but mostly because nobody else really put many flowers in. So bit of a default prize. No shame in a default prize, still a win. In terms of like collecting my prizes, I got 8 first, 3 second and 2 thirds, and 1 that didn't place, which I think I probably got disqualified for because perhaps it just should be 1 succulent in a pot and not like 6 like I had. But there you go, all a learning curve. But yeah, it was a really joyful day, I would say. You know, it was really nice seeing my neighbours and things get prizes too, and my cousin. I'm still a bit sore that Mark beat me on the tomatoes. Perhaps the judges didn't get that they were like meant to be chocolate coloured, or were they too big for the cherry class? I don't know. Let's not go down that route. So reflecting on it all at the end of the day, firstly, would absolutely do it again. We'll be doing it again next year. We were all saying, so the people who came just to see as well, so like my auntie and they were all like, next year we're putting stuff in. So, and Mark definitely, he was like, right, he was already getting the booklet out and sort of circling all the categories that he might do next year. And I think, you know, to think about if you haven't done a horticultural show before and you're kind of thinking about it, just going to one I think makes all the difference, and seeing how it's run and how the produce is presented and things like that, it becomes then much more familiar and you feel much more confident doing it. So I think that's my first piece of advice. If you want to do a horticultural show, go and see one first. My other piece of advice is don't try and prepare everything on the day of the show. Here I was talking this morning about the prep that I'd done, and I thought I was in quite a good place. No, I should have dug potatoes yesterday for sure. There's lots of things that I could have done in advance and would have taken the pressure off this morning. So I think about the things that you can do the day before. In fairness, we were quite busy yesterday because we went to a farm sanctuary that was having a fundraiser. Here's Mark feeding a sheep. And then in the evening I was attempting to make my Victoria sponge. So so yes, I didn't have an awful lot of time yesterday, and I did go to the plot in the evening to pick the runner beans, but definitely could, I mean, I could have done it Friday, couldn't I? I could have dug up the potatoes and things, they would have been fine. So do what you can in advance. What else? Enjoy it, I guess. Get other people involved, get your family and friends involved, because that made a big difference, having everybody there and competing against each other. It made it way more fun. If there's kids in your family, get those involved. My nephew, he was well chuffed with his second place. We do feel like he was robbed on the squash category though, because I got third for my tromboncino, but this butternut squash got first place that didn't even look like a butternut squash. So I don't know what that was about. You kind of want the judge there so you can ask them, like, why did this get first place? I thought my nephew's squash should have got first place, really. And I think the other thing to perhaps bear in mind is that you are investing in it, kind of thing. It is in the sense that is a kind of fundraiser event, because so I think I put in 14 categories, so that was £7. I spent £5 on the raffle, but I did win this really cute little bird box. I'm gonna hang that in the tree. And then I think it was £1 also for entrance in the afternoon when it was open to the public. And what I won was my medal, but a £5. So that did not cover my expenses. So yeah, definitely don't go in thinking that you're going to make anything on it, but rather, yeah, that you're putting into the show in terms of like then helping it run in future years and stuff. Anything else? Yeah, I think the primary thing was have fun, and we all had fun. I guess the caveat to that is that some horticultural shows are way more formal than ours clearly is. So again, best to go and kind of see what it's all about and if it suits you. Speaking of seeing exhibition veg, the Malvern Autumn Show is coming up. It's the weekend of the 23rd of September, and I'm not sure whether I'm going or not yet, but I went last year and the exhibition veg there is incredible. So if you live in the area, have a scoot on over to Malvern, and it's not too expensive to get in, and if you've got kids, they're free up to age 16, I think. So I highly recommend it. It was great fun. So thank you for coming along with me today, and I hope you found it fun, I don't know, or interesting or helpful, but I had a thoroughly enjoyable day. I am shattered. I think it's time I pull back, time for a bath, another glass of wine, and I should probably eat something. I shall see you next week with, I think, a fairly short episode. We'll see, but in the meantime, take care.